Hello and welcome to episode 157 of Trusty Hogs. We just had a freaking fire alarm in the building.
I am going to become the building's next fire marshal.
No.
I just spoke to Ben. He's putting my name forward.
I don't think that's right.
I have never had that role. And I think they had
that's
clipboards.
for a reason. Oh, and they had those shiny jackets.
High-vis.
Yeah.
And they were like, it was all women,
I don't
which by
think
the way,
you need
slay.
more power, if I be honest. I don't think you need that kind of power in your life.
Through the fog, step forth the trusty hogs. Yeah, you're gonna give them your problems and they will solve them. Or maybe they won't, and that's your problem. They'll have guests and Andrew White on the tech. Oh, it's Helen and Catherine as the trusty hogs. Trust the trusty hogs, or maybe not.
I'd love to be a fire marshal.
I think it's already quite a stressful situation.
I did not. Did you find it stressful, that one?
I found it stressful that we were traipsing down that many number of stairs in a corporate environment, and I could hear you and Andrew, and the words that I heard out of context were what I wiped my arse with, and I thought these people are at work.
Not me.
These people are at work is what I felt. I felt, gosh, I don't really want to be in. And Helen kept saying stick together, and I thought, I think I'll stick apart if that's all right.
Did?
I think I'll just, because we're screaming and they are at work. So
Were
that
we
was,
screaming?
I was stressed.
I don't think we were screaming.
I heard you, I was a floor above you.
Okay,
Floor
Andrew, do you
above
want to
you.
give this context, my pop?
It's because I've never had a fire alarm when I've been in the loo before. I just like wipe my arse in a panic. It
So
was.
then I
You
see-
get that that's not a normal thing to say in a corporate environment.
I
Right?
suppose this is quite corporate, yeah.
Yeah.
I wash my hands, I will say that.
And then
I risked my
That's a
life
crazy
to wash
thing
my
to
hands.
have to say. Like, that's not like you did that because it's a corporate environment. You're like, listen, I get it's a workplace, so I bravely wash my hands. It's like, you should be doing that.
Could you imagine if Andrew got trapped by the fire in the bathroom because he was doing such a thorough wipe
I
and
don't
wash?
want any of this. I
We
don't
don't
want
want it.
no,
We don't. We're not doing it.
So I found it actually very stressful, and I thought it would not have made me feel better if you were in charge. Can I say that?
Yeah, you can, I
But
guess.
may I also say that your low cut top is very soothing.
Thank you very much.
You look lovely.
For anyone who hasn't switched over to video, as
You
soon
should,
as she said
because
low cut, what are you doing?
It's mad because Helen has both got a necklace on that has boobs on, but then has the exact same set of whoppers underneath, and it's divine.
Whoppers.
Whoppers. Whoppers.
I don't know why.
It's a really lovely symmetry. It's actually very soothing. So there's that. Oh, sorry. Welcome to Trusty Hogs. Welcome to Trusty Hogs. This is a podcast where we, Catherine Bohart and Helen Bauer, tell you about our perfect lives, and we answer your frankly stressful problems. Are you guys okay? What's going on?
I feel like we'll start with our stresses first, and then we'll come to your stresses, and that's fair because I know that you've had a stress or something you've realised about beauty.
Oh yeah, well there's two things this week that have occurred to me. One is that my girlfriend went to a party and she was talking to this man, a straight man.
Went to a party without you.
Yeah, I was working.
Yeah, because you're booked and blessed.
And also, I don't really like parties, but she, makes me go to some of them, and I'm glad I do. I'm always glad I guess I went. Anyway, the point is, she was on a night out with going to two parties, and at one of the parties she was talking to a man, and he apparently writes cool things, and she was chatting away, and then he was like, wait, your girlfriend does that podcast, Trusty Hogs, I love that podcast. And I was like, sorry, I need you to rewind. And she similarly was like, I think she was a bit like, wait, but you're a straight man. Why do you? And
Definitely
I know
a straight
it
man.
happens. I know apparently straight men listen to our podcast, but every time I hear about it, in particular in the wild, I'm like, where it's not their wife going like, he listens to it as well, don't you? And I make you. I'm like, I can't fathom.
Who was that?
She's very busy, but I just can't fathom that straight men listened alone to the podcast. And
It's
if
educational.
so, do you think?
100%. It's like me listening to if I listen to an episode of Joe Rogan.
But you
I'm
don't,
sort of like,
surely.
what are they doing?
But you don't.
I mean, I don't.
I listen to podcasts about Joe Rogan by women, but I don't listen to Joe Rogan. I was just like, and also I resent the fact that we're the female Joe Rogan scenario. We wish we made that much money. We freaking wish. Let's do a collab, Joe.
Join our Patreon. Join our Patreon.
But I'm like, gosh, isn't that such a compliment? And also, what
I
are they
love
up to?
it.
Are they spying? It feels like when you say educational, I'm hearing spy.
No, I feel like they're listening and just sort of being like, oh, okay, oh, that's how that thought goes, or that feeling, or that's how the world is perceived through their eyes.
Do you think?
100. I think it's a nice thing. Okay, here's a better example. I listen to Slime Country, Ed Hughes and Sunil's podcast.
Yeah, I'm aware
So I'm
of
like,
it.
just to see like what the boys are boysing at the moment, you know?
Really?
Yeah, because I never get to be inside of a
I only
bro
listen
chat
to
without
one
bringing my
podcast
energy.
by two men.
Go on.
It's If Books Could Kill. And it's Michael and Peter, and they open the podcast by saying, Michael, Peter. But one of them is gay. And
But only one.
The other one clearly has a very stern wife. So I can get on board. I don't know.
Sorry, they don't count as men because they're gay and a cuck. Is that what
Yeah.
You know, I only just really...
I guess I meant that they were like just about manageable. But you read into that what you wanted to, Andrew. And that's on you.
Is it about books?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's fun. Is it like a weekly book club?
It's more like a book deconstruction. So they take books that you can primarily buy in like airports and like real hits, mainstream hits, and then they dissect them, usually because they're full of active lies or disgraceful cons. Things like The Secret.
What's The Secret again? I've seen that one.
It's like your thoughts affect things that happen to you.
Oh, yeah.
As in basically everything that ever happens to you is your own fault. Or they did the Hillbilly Elegy, which is really good, obviously, given that JD Vance is currently running for vice president.
Oh my God, I'm so ignorant.
He wrote a book based on his autobiography. A lot of it's made up, allegedly.
Allegedly.
But it's basically the entire thing is like, you can, if you're poor, you should just make your life better. You should just be smart enough to make it better and be rich, and if you can't, then you suck. And it's like, okay, there might be some structural issues with this.
Oh my God.
That kind of energy. But it's a really good podcast. I actually very much enjoyed it. And Michael, who does it, used to be on, or is still on, Maintenance Phase, but you used to do You're Wrong About.
Oh yes.
And it's a good listen, but it's the only one. It's the only man pod I listen to, and that's what I call them, man pods.
Maybe. Yeah, now you've got me worried now that they're spying on us, and that you're right. That
It just feels voyeuristic. I'm like, sure, come in, welcome, please join the Patreon, but also,
what do you want to know?
what do you want? What are you up to? What?
Do you want us to describe our feed?
It makes me feel like a teenager on a bus. I'm like, what? What are you looking at? What? So anyway,
With a Capri Sun. What?
Anyway.
Why is the straw paper now? What?
So yeah, other than that, I had no other dilemmas except that I've realized this week that I fundamentally believe, and by the way, I think I've done a lot of research, but I've decided that pedicures are a con.
Okay, yeah, you mentioned this to me earlier, and I was like, we can't talk about this right now. I can't entertain it.
Can I tell you for why?
What's the con?
Here's the con is they create the need, and therefore have control of the supply, obviously. So they are.
You have been the queen of this for years. The one and only time I went for a pedicure with you, you were like, do not let them shave your skin.
Yeah. So when they shave your skin, they basically take off skin that doesn't need removing a lot of the time. And then it starts to grow back in a cracked manner. And then you have to go back into the pedicure because you're now like scaly.
Yeah.
Also, I've just stopped getting them and my feet have literally never been softer. The answer is cream. What you are after is foot cream. You're not after a pedicure. The pedicure just creates problems. Mm-hmm. If you cut off skin, it grows back harder and more likely to have to go back and get another freaking pedicure.
With shaving.
It's a con. It's a con. It's a swizz.
I'm with you. It's
a swizz, Andrew. It's a freaking swizz.
Now, here's the thing I struggle with moisturising feet.
Pedicon. I'm furious. I honestly think that it's like slept on and everyone needs to stop.
Do you feel it's because you've thought about how many pedicures you've had? And okay.
It's a swizz. Give me my money back.
I've never had swizz before in my life.
Get a foot cream and you're good. My feet have never been softer. The people I know who don't get pedicures, soft as feet.
Do you think this is why the straight men are here? My feet are soft. I'm moisturising them. How are you doing it naked? I get out the shower.
No,
powder my vagina.
I actually only do it when I'm. Why are you powdering? You don't.
I don't know. I know. I don't powder it.
Please
do
don't.
No, 100%
don't.
not.
Please
Definitely wouldn't do that.
So I just put it on right before bed because otherwise you're sliding around.
Thank you. But this is the thing. I've got foot cream.
Yeah.
And sometimes if I remember, I put it on before bed. And
Can
then
I say a very endearing thing about you?
Jawohl.
That I only noticed today in the last podcast, which is that where ordinarily the entire, I guess the syntax of the sentence would be, what happens if? You always say, and it's so sweet, you say, yeah, but happens if. And it's adorable.
Oh my God, is that wrong?
No, it's not wrong. It's just adorable. If you just drop the what, there's no right or wrong. Linguistics are just a development process. They
but
evolve.
happens if.
Yeah, I just think it's so cute.
Oh,
It's just a cute thing that you do.
Oh, adorable.
Happens if.
Happens if. Oh,
Yeah.
Andrew.
Sorry.
Andrew
Oh my God,
dropped his phone and no
men
one heard it apart
interrupting
from
us.
us.
For fuck's sake, again. Here we go. I bet you some other man listening to this at home isn't even giving us a full attention.
Wake up! Come on! Believe her! Thank
You
you.
were saying, happens if what, babe?
Happens if
Fucking Andrew.
I cream my feet,
Yeah.
not put them on the floor ever, right? They go straight into the bed. I'm all creamed up. I'm in the bed.
Yeah.
Inevitably, I'm like, I'm going to go straight to sleep.
Yeah, you need a wee.
10
You're talking
hours of
you're talking
scrolling later.
last moment. You do not do it if you still have your phone in your hand. You do not do it if you intend not to. Just simply immediately turn over. It is the last thing you
But the
do.
wee, the water, like you have to get up, and I have slept.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying to you. It has to be the singularly last thing you do. Ideally, what you do is get someone to do it like when you're asleep. But Ellen won't agree to do that.
Ask my housemate. Like, so now can you just?
I'd be like, please, can you cream my feet just as I'm asleep? And she's like, no, you fucking demented. I also am like, have you heard of slugging?
I am not joking. I just saw a clip of Jessie discussing this.
Jessie Cave.
Yeah.
Does she slug?
If it's what I think it is, it's the like putting on so much cream that you're like literally like a sea creature.
And then you seal it in with like Vaseline or something.
Is that what you do?
I think so.
Oh my God.
Does she do it? Because I will
Yeah, I
do
think
anything
she's
she does to
talking
her
about doing
skin. Her
it.
skin's unreal.
It's flawless.
Yeah.
So, but do you do that?
No, but what I'm saying is I want Ellen to slug my feet while I'm asleep. Is that so wrong? Is that so
But
wrong?
would you still go and get a pedicure as far as the polish? But you'd be like, do not touch my skin.
Yes, and I'm very good at doing those myself. So at that point, I'm like, why am I paying somebody more than a bottle, like 3 bottles of nail polish cost me to do this?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to put them out of business, except that it's a con.
I feel like you're trying to
So,
put them out of business.
I think it's a con.
I have not had a pedicure since May or April even.
Cream them, babe. You don't need to
So
just cream
it's
them.
the polish has all grown off on all my nails apart from my big toe, and it looks almost like a French tip at the moment.
Wait, what? You've kept it? Is it shellac? Is that what
It's
okay.
gel.
Okay, that's why you haven't just taken it off a nail polish remover.
And then I was like, well, it's winter, so like no one's seeing my hooves. So like,
You say that, but last episode you said that you just de-haired your entire cooch apart from the bits that you missed, and your ass apart from the bits that you missed. So maybe somebody might see your toes. Did you keeping your socks on but your hair off? Is that the way it goes?
maybe that's my rule now.
Okay, like that.
Maybe
for
I'm
you.
redefining beauty standards.
Good. Welcome
One
to queer
stray
culture.
pube at a time.
Welcome to queer culture. Excellent. I love that for you. Good for you. Socks on, pubes off. It's called cash femme, bitches. Look it up. Good for you.
I do like the feeling though of having the dead skin removed.
I see. I don't really want to talk about that.
Okay. Yeah, your eyes just said
see,
no.
I can't talk about that. And
I
then
won't
the
do it.
last thing that I have to say to you is that this week I went to the cinema to watch for the first time ever on Saturday,
Go on.
1 p.m. showing at the Prince Charles.
Here we go.
I went to see
The Room.
older than that.
Older than The Room?
Yeah,
Oh my God. So like 90s or 80s? I actually want to guess.
probably 80s.
80s. Ghostbusters.
No,
Possession.
think much more tension.
From Pretty in Pink.
It's a good choice, but I've obviously seen that.
Okay. Working Girl.
No, it's a Halloween movie. It's a scary movie, at least.
Scream.
No, the 80s. Was that the 80s?
I think so. Maybe 70s.
It's The Silence
Jamie
of the
Lee
Lambs.
Curtis. Silence of the Lambs. That's 1991 Oscar winner.
How would I know that?
Because it's famous.
Oh, okay. I said 80s maybe, to be fair.
1991.
My extreme apologies.
How much did you love it?
Honestly, it's a perfect film, no notes.
Yeah, you rubs the lotion on the skin and then it makes the clothes again.
And Sam, who was with us, who I didn't know this, apparently said that he's only on screen for 14 minutes.
Stop.
Yeah.
What a performance.
That's powerful.
Isn't that powerful? I just love, my favorite line was, love your suit. Love your suit. Governor, one last thing. Love your suit.
Oh my God.
Or
it's
senator or
such
whatever
a
she was.
creepy film.
Loved it.
I love Silence of the Lambs, and then I'd like been a fan of it for years, and then I got introduced to Red Dragon, I think it's
Is that the
called.
prequel?
Which is a prequel, but it was made after it, and it's also brilliant.
Same actors? No, not aged down.
I think it is. I can't remember now exactly, but it is definitely linked to it very well.
Andrew Red Dragon, are they cast as the same people? Surely not.
Maybe not Hopkins.
Red Dragon is Anthony Hopkins.
Slay.
Playing himself younger than he was in the...
He must seek help.
Sort of
from-
like before he's already in jail, right? Because
Yeah.
you meet him in
In
jail.
his like munchies phase.
In his munchies. Yeah, in his full munchies face. So that's how we're describing it.
Wow. Okay.
And it's really, really good as well. I think that's on streaming services.
Does she play herself? God, she looked amazing in a Jodie Foster. It's so good. It's so good.
Clarice.
Also obsessed with the sort of 1991 era running gear, which is all like ski
Why do I
mom.
not remember that?
Because it opens with her running through the like army scenario, but you don't know
Okay.
that you think she's running through a forest, and you're like, oh my God. But she's wearing like, it has just like ski mom energy. You're
Her
like,
tits bouncing.
No, not at all. If anything, they wear like 8 layers, so you'd never know.
Slay.
It's fascinating. But yeah, I loved it.
Oh my God, I
loved it.
love that you're in, like, I feel like we're doing
loved it.
such a basic spooky season.
Why, what did you watch?
I am doing just horror films.
Okay.
And I don't know if we spoke about this yet. I watched The Birds for the first time, the Alfred Hitchcock film.
I've never seen. Oh no, I have seen it. I saw it in drama school. Of course,
It's
I did.
not
Didn't we
great.
all? It's a bit boring.
Like this.
Are you allowed to say
like,
Hitchcock's boring?
I think you are. Like the film, weirdly, the film's good. The script is so bad
Yeah.
to the point where it doesn't actually make sense. At one point, so we know, right, sorry. You turn on The Birds, and first of all, you're like, okay, so we're doing it.
Yeah.
It's actually birds.
Yeah.
Like, not just sort of
Yeah.
like fit women with low cut tops being like,
Did you expect that to be what it was?
drop my watch.
Gosh, you must have been
Like-
gutted. Dropped her watch.
Drop my.
Okay. For the listener, it's important to know that Helen is squeezing her breasts a lot. I get why
Sort of
straight
doing
men
like a
listen to
Betty
this.
Boop sort of thing.
I just realised why straight men listen to this. Go on.
For my tits.
For you.
Join our Patreon. You can see my cunt.
What?
just a bit of fun.
No.
Just a bit of fun. Obviously,
That's not true.
Obviously not.
It's not
Slide into my
true.
DMs. I won't be a bitch about it.
Oh my God.
Could you imagine? But
I won't be a bitch
I
about
won't.
it.
Come on. I won't be one of those bitchy girls.
Uh-huh.
I'll show you what you want to see. I won't be a dick about it.
Please stop crossing your eyes and go on.
So you're watching it's like birds, and then you're like, so you establish the birds are all like bad because they keep peck someone's eyes out, like really like bad birds. And then we know the birds are bad, but they clearly need something next to happen in the film. So in the script, Tippy just goes into a bedroom that's full of birds and just keeps walking in, and then she nearly dies because of the birds. And it's like, well, obviously that was going to happen, you fucking moron.
I've just realised I haven't seen this film.
She arrives in town and she's like, oh, I'm staying at this woman's house, but she doesn't actually know her. But then she does just stay there.
Hitchcock. What's the one with
Which
the
one?
apartment? Is that a Hitchcock film?
That's a comedy. Rear Window.
Rear Window. Thank you so much. Wow, where did I get the apartment from?
It's a comedy from like the old school era. It's
Okay,
very
yeah,
good.
it was Rear Window. Very creepy music. Actually, that was pretty good.
There's
But
loads
wow,
of
I have
good
no idea what you're
Hitchcocks.
talking about.
So
Yeah, famously there are good Hitchcock. Hot take from TrustyHogs. Hitchcock, not all bad, not all bad, not all bad, but pretty bad.
then, and you're like, oh god, the birds are really fucked up, I guess. And then the next morning, I woke up, I pulled my curtains open,
Yeah.
and my bedroom goes out into like the patio garden
Yeah.
thing. Dead mouse. Right there, like it was just brought to me, like no signs of like being bitten or like anything like that. And I was like, a bird has dropped this here as a warning, because I laughed at one point during the birds, and they're like, it's not funny, we could do this again. And then there was a dead mouse there, and I was like, what do I do? What do
Could
I do?
I posit something?
Yes,
Because yes, maybe sign from the birds.
100% a sign from the birds.
Secondary thought.
Okay.
So gorged was this mouse on what I can only presume were flapjackery flapjacks that they've stolen from Sunil's room.
Possibly.
That it crawled out to die.
It wasn't a mouse that felt well fed.
Well fed.
Well fed. He felt.
When you say felt, did you have a feel of him?
No, I had a really good look though, because when you
Just did,
can't
like, a
take your
vibe
eyes
check.
away.
Yeah.
And I also was like, I was just checking it was definitely dead. I didn't poke it, but when you're like,
Why would you just say to me that you didn't poke it?
I didn't poke it.
Why do you need to say that?
Because I feel like you think I poked it.
No, I didn't think anything about you poking it. I wouldn't have assumed you did, but now you've said poking it enough times that I'm like, did you poke it?
I did not poke the dead mouse.
Why aren't you blinking?
Did I think about it? Yes.
Why are you
yes,
smiling
I
so
thought
much?
about it. I thought about it and tried to
That
find
was your
something to
first
poke
thought?
it with.
You tried to poke it.
But I didn't do it because I realised it definitely was dead.
No, just because you couldn't find anything to poke it with.
And then
You're the
it's
worst.
tricky because everything that was poke that was to use for anything that you could poke
Huh?
with, like a poking instrument, had spiders' webs on it. So it didn't feel right.
This is your garden, is it?
Yeah, our patio.
It sounds awful. Like the stuff of
But then
nightmares.
Sunil was like, do not touch it. Nature will take its course. And I was like, what does that mean?
What does that
Because I don't want to
mean?
watch it rotting. That's horrible.
What does that actually mean?
He was like, something will take it in the night.
Did they?
It did. Next morning, totally gone. So it had one whole day of having
Who
to
has
remember.
access to it? Like, can cats get
No
in?
one.
Can foxes
That's the
get
thing.
in?
It must have been like a cat or a fox. But it's so creepy to think about it because it's like literally like a foot away from where I'm sleeping. That like, there's creep. Do you know what I mean? Like, just like, you know, when you watch, what was that show that we really liked? The Survivor one, where they were in the Canadian wilderness and then you'd see on the night cams. Naked.
Was it naked?
Not naked. That's Naked and Afraid. What was it? When they're just alone in the woods in Canada.
Oh, yeah, we loved that. Why did I think
We loved it. What is wrong with us? Alone.
Alone. Why did I go naked?
Because you love naked.
There is a show called Naked where you're like naked in the woods.
Naked and
Yeah,
Afraid.
but that's
Naked and
different.
yeah.
And this one's alone.
Alone. But one of them was naked. Do you remember that?
Yeah, because the men, I'm sorry to say it, the men are always like, when they go crazy, they always get their dicks out.
Why would I not be naked?
Yeah, I'm
It
sorry.
makes no sense.
I feel I should be pounding my naked chest. Like, what? Oh my God, stop.
I'll take my clothes off and then I'll figure out a way to get warm by building a fire.
Just bananas. Did you watch, and I only ask this because you're the only person in my life who might even have considered it in the same way that you're the only person in my life who might have considered poking the mouse.
Yeah.
Did you watch any of the Channel 5 fucking Philip Schofield Alone on the Island business?
Wait, what's this?
Oh, Philip Schofield has been cast in this show. Is it called The Island, Andrew?
I think it's called Castaway.
Castaway.
Like Forrest Gump?
They put
Not
you
Forrest Gump.
with your own
Tom
cameras.
Hanks.
No,
Sorry.
they put you with your own cameras on an island, and he
Okay.
just feels sorry for himself and self-indulges to camera for however many days. There's no film crew, so he is like, but he's obviously a TV pro, so he's
Shut
just.
the fuck up.
I haven't seen any of it. I listened to the This Is Entertainment about it, and Marina Hyde really fabulously savaged him, and she has the accent for it, and don't I love to listen.
What's the accent?
Marina Hyde.
Yeah.
How do I describe Marina Hyde's? She, I think, would self-profess as like having a very posh
Very
accent.
Emily Maitlis.
Very posher than Emily Maitlis, I would say.
Wow.
Imagine that. And yeah, her and Richard Osman have a podcast called The Rest is Entertainment.
Yes.
And they dissect television shows, and that is a very good episode because she just savages them, and it's wonderful.
Okay,
It is,
awesome.
but I just wondered if you'd seen any of it, but the answer seems to be no.
No, I still haven't watched Couples Therapy either. I went on BBC iPlayer and I got it up and I was like, God, there's so many seasons here and there's so much stuff. And I
Just
was
start on
like,
episode 1, season 1.
I know. I don't know why. I haven't done it yet. I'm sorry. I watched another horror film. I got my book. I got my horror book from suggestions from people.
I just don't think you're going to be gay if you don't watch Couples Therapy.
But wait, do I have to watch it to get a badge, to be the gay badge?
I think you. Well, no. Look, here's what I think is going to happen. Is I think we're going to go on your first date, me at the table over from you, obviously, wearing spooky glasses, and
Wait, what?
I'll be incognito, and I've never said it like that before, incognito, and I'll obviously be sat there, and then your date will be like, so what do you think of the latest Couples Therapy? Who did you relate to most? And you're going to be like, and I'm going to be like, told you. I fucking told you. I'm going to take my glasses off and be like, did I not fucking tell
Or
you?
do you not think my date's
Did I
going to
not
be like,
prepare
is that
you?
not your
Did I
podcast
not train
host
you for
over
this?
there? Is that not famous bisexual Catherine Bohart just sitting on the table over there giving
crazy
you a
that you
thumbs
assume
up?
they've gone on a date with you because they're trying to starfuck. Maybe they just
No,
liked your
they
tits.
recognise you. They don't
Maybe
recognise
they
me.
just
I
liked
don't
your
think they're
tits.
gonna recognise
Maybe they
me.
just liked your tits.
Oh.
Maybe they just liked your tits, and that's why they're there. Have you considered that?
So I'm nothing without my breasts, and I knew that.
I think you knew that.
I knew that.
You knew that.
Damn it. I watched Possession as well, though. That was
What's
very
that?
good. It's a recommendation from my friend Nathan, and it's from 1981,
Okay.
and it's set in Berlin. I think it was filmed in Berlin, like during the Cold War, because the wall's up, and they've got like shots of sort of like the Russians, and it's like, but like they like clearly did not know they're being filmed. They're like clearly watching this film being filmed on the other side of the wall, and they're just being like, oh, okay, so what the fuck?
Whoa.
And it's sort of like, yeah.
Love
but
that
like,
you're concerned about their privacy, but go on.
No, just like, it's just
When
interesting
no one had
to
any
think
in
about them
Berlin.
all. Like, there's one part in it where like a building blows up, but it's right on the Mauer, like in Kreuzberg, that you like, there must have been people on the east side being like, oh, I want to see that. Oh no, I'm not going to release that over here.
Shucks. Yeah.
Damn it.
You're right. That will have been their biggest concern. Go on. So
That and the
Possession.
lack of bananas. Then that
Potassium's
was
a
really
real
good. It was really
necessity.
dark and a lot of goo and gunge.
What's it about? Sorry.
It's really good, but really hard to explain. But like, it's sort of like about, it's mainly about one relationship, one marriage that's gone
Okay.
bad,
Okay.
and a new force coming into that marriage,
You're
sometimes,
describing couples therapy. Like, I don't know why you won't watch it. I don't know why you won't watch it.
Sometimes through cheating and sometimes through like a big religious sort of taking over.
Couples therapy.
Couples therapy.
You're welcome.
Okay.
That's good. If you liked Possession, you'll love couples therapy.
Okay.
Please.
I promise.
Please. And what about you? What's going on with you?
Nothing. No, I had a really lovely week, but forgot to enjoy it properly.
Huh?
Like last week, I was like, oh, I was penciled to film.
Yeah.
And I knew I just had one scene, right? But they wouldn't tell us what day. They didn't have the schedule yet.
Okay.
So the whole week had to be left free for when this will be filming. All done by Wednesday evening.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, I'm just going to try and chill and just do my writing. So I did some deadlines.
Yeah.
And did a couple of gigs that I picked up. And that was it. So then just didn't. Yeah.
You were bad at relaxing, huh? Look, listen to what
Yeah,
you
a
just
little bit,
said.
actually.
Listen to what you just said.
I know.
So I just had a week off. So I just did lots of writing and some gigs I picked up. So you mean you picked up gigs that week because you
Just
had
one night. I was good at like
a double?
I did a double on a Saturday night.
Are you trying to hair clip your neck right now?
Yeah, I don't know why.
For the
I feel
listener-
like a big question.
It's okay. Neither of us likes to be alone. I realised the other day that I have spent a lot of time alone in the last 10 days and I've been so weird because of it. But also I'm incapable of sitting in silence. So at every single moment, that's why I always listen to so many podcasts, because at every single moment I need noise.
TV for me.
It blows my mind. No, because I have to be in the same room for that, whereas I can bring my phone around with me with my AirPods in. But it blows my mind that people just must move around in quiet and I can't even imagine it.
It creeps. Sometimes I go into the living room and Sunil's just sitting there, like just sitting. And it gives me the fucking willies.
Not even music on.
Just Catherine, just sitting.
Reading a book.
No, phones to the side. Catherine, he's just sitting.
Do you worry he's died?
Oh, I hate it.
Every
And then
time.
sometimes he says something like, what happens if I turned around and I didn't have a face? Like, just trying to creep
Oh,
me
he's a
out.
twat.
I'm like-
That guy's a dick.
But I did a lot of really nice reading.
There, I said
I
he's a
cuddled
dick.
up with a new book. And
Which one?
it was a recommendation from a listener about horror books, and they were like, you're clearly scared. So it's a gothic novel, Rebecca.
Oh my God, cool.
Rebecca.
Fun.
It's good. It is creepy.
Yeah.
Mrs. Danvers, do not trust her,
Yeah.
Catherine.
Listen, babe, you're the only one who hasn't read Rebecca.
I know. I've been realising that.
Yeah.
People being like, you reading Rebecca? And I'm like, yeah.
Say
And they're like,
I literally just saw The Signs of the Lambs, so what the hell do I know? I'm like, have you heard of this movie? Have you heard of Jodie Foster?
Mrs. Danvers is awful.
Yeah, nightmare.
You know, and that's a recommendation. If you're a hog and you're looking for something to do tonight, watch Silence of the Lambs and then read Rebecca.
Whoa, if you want to not sleep for days.
And you mustn't always have an eye open in this day and age. You never know
Jesus.
what's coming for you.
Spooky, yeah.
Am I right? But that was nice.
Is this our Halloween episode? Why are we acting like it's our Halloween episode?
It's not a Halloween
Halloween's
episode.
next week.
Okay, that's very
And-
exciting.
But just to check for Halloween episode next week.
Yeah, I'm going to sneeze.
Bless you. Bless you.
You have to cut that out. That's not good podcasting,
No,
please.
that's such an interesting sneeze as well.
It's really cute. It is.
What? No, we're not keeping that in just because
It sounds like a turtle.
Yes, exactly. I imagine a turtle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Halloween episode. Am I going to do
Can I just
history
say, I
corner?
also think sneezes are a con. I don't think anybody needs to make that much noise. It's so not just a con. It's performative and it's dramatic and it's attention seeking. Like,
Fucking hell, Catherine.
I'm sorry, I just think it's ridiculous. Who needs to be? You know, when you hear those people who make a noise and you're like, "What? That was so unnecessary." The people who are like, you're like, "Fucking relax."
Okay, I do
Relax.
sneeze loud.
Not as loud
because
as
of the shock of having. Sometimes when you don't see it coming, and you've had like a lot in a row, the shock of the air you
No,
have to
I'm
take
sorry.
in.
Dads need to cut it the fuck
Yeah,
out.
Michael
and you
Bauer
know
needs
who
to
I'm talking
chill
about.
it.
They all need to fucking relax.
Yeah,
Who is that for? Grow up.
I don't know. You know what
Ugh.
started happening to me? This
What
might be too
started?
vulnerable for the podcast, actually.
Go on. You can do this.
Maybe it's common for people. I think I've got like a weak bladder, like a weak pelvic floor. I was telling Frances about it yesterday.
Oh, it's just being a woman in your 30s, my love.
Is everyone else getting this? Because I have like sneeze-a-thons in the morning for like hay fever or whatever. And sometimes I do piss myself like not like, I don't want to say that I'm like wetting myself, but it's like I have to go to the toilet before I start sneezing. So I bought some of those.
You plan your sneezes? You can time them for after your wig?
I try to. I'm like, get to the toilet.
I guess in the morning you're bursting, right? So if you put any sort of like
my
stress, it's just like if you laughed.
I'm so bursting in the morning. And then I bought some of they're not tenor ladies, but like the equivalent of them from Always. So I bought like, I think they're the Always equivalent of tenor ladies, and it's called like sensitive bladder. And I had some, and I was like, okay, let's give this a go. And it's like, I was like, okay, this feels good. Because then you're just sort of like, oh, no, I don't have to like feel like it's going to happen. And then I'm saying that I don't actually have one in right now, and I'm on my period. So today would have been a great day to put one in. But like, I have to get in the habit of doing it. But like, is that something that people have in their 30s, or is that weird?
I
want to know if it's doctors or ladies' shame. Do you know what I mean?
First of all, I don't know what's weird or normal. I guess where I've heard this is usually from women who've had children.
That's why I'm like, is this a medical thing that I need to go and get it looked at? Or is it something where it's like, actually, this is quite common and people don't talk about it, but it is just a case of you just go by it. Do you know what I mean? I think it's probably
that
common.
one. It's probably that one. I wouldn't say I'm quite there. And I'm older than you.
Yeah.
But I never have sneeze-a-thons in the morning or ever, so I don't really know whether or not I might have that situation.
I get quite a lot of sneeze-a-thons.
Right, to have a sneeze-a-thon every day, that must be stressful.
Well, like during the hay fever months, there's always something.
But you always have hay fever, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah, I've always got something.
It's like how you're always on your period. I don't know what's up with you.
Poor Helen.
Poor Helen, but maybe you should go to the doctor.
I know, it feels like, like it's really hard to book doctor's appointments when the NHS are in dire straits, because every now and again you have a little bit of wee-wee come out when you sneeze 50 times in a row.
Yeah. But if it's not for that, what is it for? Do you know, I feel like that, to me, that feels like...
Also, who doesn't have a bit of piss coming out of them every now and again? I'm really trying to relate to someone in the room, but no one's quite clearly having the same experience I am.
Yeah, well, bear in mind that I find it difficult to pee anyway, because I have an uptight pelvis.
This thing, we've got very different vaginas.
Yeah, you're like loosey-goosey, and I'm like... fucking try to eke it out of me.
Yeah. Whereas
I'll
always
die
weird.
with it inside me.
There's a chance I'm urinating right now and I don't know yet.
Gosh.
I'm not. I'd like that noted.
Are you?
But like sometimes it does happen, and then like, if I'm laughing loads, and I'm like, and I know about women who have had kids. I have seen you leave
conversations because you've been laughing so much that you've been like,
I'm gonna wet myself.
It's coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
but
I
don't want to be someone
who
like, and I said it to Frances to sort of like try and get some reassurance, and then they were like going like, I think that's just like a weak pelvic floor, and I was like, I just need you to tell me that you've never smelt me. And then they were like, no, you've literally never smelt of anything. Like, and I was like, okay, I need you to hear that, because the paranoia is that like I smell gross, right? Because like there's like just that whole area.
You guys are very close friends.
What, me and Frances?
Yeah.
Yeah, surprise. Like, could you imagine?
I don't think I have a single friend who I could be like, hey, quick check, have I ever smelt of wee?
Just have you ever like noticed it? Because like we spent so much time together, we've lived together.
Would they really say yes?
Yeah, if I was asking directly and it was
Would
just
they?
the two of us, yeah, 100%. I'd want someone to be honest with me and be
And
like,
this was all over,
hey, this
like-
is absolutely fine. Like, yeah, I think that's something that like, yeah, maybe you are someone who should like put in a like discreet pad, because that might make you feel more comfortable some days.
Wow. I really don't want to be judgmental, and I also don't want to be wasteful of the NHS, but I'm also like, I don't know what's normal.
I don't know what's normal.
I don't know
I
what's
feel like we
normal.
do some medical, I know medical people listen because they do message every now
Oh
and
God,
again.
they're always tweeting me to tell me to get my bloods checked. I've done it.
Could you let me know if this, I'm 33 and there's never been any like thing down there.
What a dire indictment of the healthcare system that we're both like, by the way, I'm like maybe losing my hair. Is that seasonal? And you're like, and I'm like, oh, I found out my allergies. And you're like, please write in if I should be going to the doctor about my piss situation. Like, this should not be our first port of call health-wise. You shouldn't have to set up a podcast to find out if your symptoms are real.
Right?
But we have.
But also, like,
So there it
if it is a medical thing, it doesn't feel like that big of a deal. If, like, every now and again a bit of wheeze coming out because I can't stop sneezing, because that feels more like a sneeze thing. But it's all connected. I remember I pissed myself loads.
Do you ever think no, please go on.
Remember when I went to hospital after I ate all those eggs out of my bra and gave myself poisoning? I
just need to remind you that this started with Helen going, this might be a bit too personal. Cue an hour later on the clock. She's like, and then this other time I pissed myself. You remember when I went to hospital after eating all those eggs out of my bra? And I'm like, oh God, okay, go on. Yeah.
I get nervous to open the door, but once it's open.
It is open, baby girl. Wow, which maybe is the same problem with your bladder. You gotta close it, close it.
I don't know how to close any hole on my body.
Yeah.
The whole time we're like, oh, that's so gross for me.
It's Trixie for
Why
sure.
do you hang out
Trixie.
with me?
Well, we are sort of professionally entangled now.
Oh, and you love Helen, because I love Catherine.
And we were going to get a scented candle to the table, weren't we?
Oh no, don't do that to me. Now I'm going to feel really I'm going to spray. Wait, I haven't pissed myself today. I don't know why I'm feeling
Today!
It's just tough out there for a young lady with a weak pelvic floor.
To say today.
And then, oh God, I want a date at the moment. How much is someone like, because like, I'll be going on Hinge and then people like, if they see you've got a podcast, might listen to the latest episode, then this will be the latest episode. And they'll be like, well, obviously not. I'm not going out with that
But
thing.
Helen, don't say thing, Helen. What I would say is this. If someone listened to our podcast and still wanted to go on a date with you, they're in.
Be gentle.
They get it. They're like, they like you as you are.
Yeah. And it's not every day.
And like, listen,
But if it was
your
every day for
podcast
you-
is not to get a diagnosis and or a girlfriend,
Yeah.
what's the point of it?
Yeah. And
If
don't
not
just
to make up-
diagnose me without like, give me exercise for my pelvic floor.
Do you know what would be amazing is if from listening to this podcast, you managed to get a girlfriend from Hinge who was also a GP and then gave us appointments whenever we needed one. Are they allowed to do that? I'm sure they are.
I just GP'd 2 weeks ago, got both jabs. Done. Bing, bing.
Jabs?
Within 10 minutes.
Jabs for what?
I got flu and I got COVID update. Bing, bing.
Do we need to get a COVID update?
I like to. Yeah.
I've never met a more sickly sort of girl though, so I don't know that either of those are working. I've never known anyone to wipe their nose and sneeze and blow.
Like a dick, though.
Yeah, I'm like, girl. Okay, good for you. Are we at flu jab territory? Are we at weeing ourselves and flu jab territory?
I always get a flu jab. It's good.
Since what age?
Just flu jab age. What's flu jab age?
84, I
Adult.
think.
I don't know. No, not unless you've got like a medical thing. Then you get put on the list.
Yeah, but if you don't have a medical thing, I think it's for like.
Yeah, yeah. So like, if you've got a medical thing, then you'll get the same message. You get a message saying like, you are ready for your seasonal flu jab, and then you get a seasonal flu jab, and then I
Is
had
this because
my
you have asthma?
COVID-19. Yeah, and then I had my COVID-19 update booked in for like a week later, and then I asked her, I was like, just to check it's cool that I get COVID next week, and she was like, babe, I'll do it now, and she just went and she jabbed me twice.
Whoa,
It
was she
sick.
flirting with you?
I think so.
Wow, hot.
It was amazing. It was nice to get both done. Sore arm though.
Sore arm.
Sore arm. I went to the
I wish
cafe
I'd
and messaged
known.
Alison Spittle to come and hang out with me.
Does she live near you?
Yeah,
That's
she came
so
down the road.
sweet.
It was
That's
nice.
so nice. How
You
is
should
it?
get I think get a COVID update if you want one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you can just actually, maybe people didn't know this. They are open to booking for a booster if you haven't had one since like the lockdowns. You can
Really?
get a booster booked in, and it's definitely worth doing going into the winter months because we are closer on trains and stuff, and just for that security, particularly if you're seeing vulnerable people around Christmas time.
Very good
Please
point.
do book in your COVID boosters. They are free on the NHS
I
and at
also
most pharmacies
need
now.
an acute mask again. I don't have a cute mask, but I want one.
Get you a new mask.
Yeah, I want a
It's
cute
so
mask.
it's the season, isn't it, for it?
I just, to be honest with you, like I don't enjoy the cinema. I don't enjoy trains. I don't enjoy buses with everyone just being, people just like open mouth cough
It's back.
and like wipe their faces and oh god, it's all just so grim. It's all just, I'm just like not open mouth coughing.
no. But
It's just like, oh my god, nobody everyone's just like, do you remember? Does anyone remember?
Mm-hmm. It's
Anyway,
crazy, isn't it?
I hate it. I hate it so much. Helen, I think given we've solved our own medical mysteries, by which I mean you should probably see a doctor,
I'm having every jab in the world.
should we answer some listener problems? Oh, and shall we thank the maker of these incredible...
Oh my God.
Incredible. What are these? These are coasters. That's the word I'm looking for.
These are coasters from Ireland via Germany.
Yeah, so German listeners came to my show in Dublin and they brought these, and one of them had made them, and they're incredible coasters. One of them says parish announcements, #TrustyHogs. One of them is for Sindhu V. For Sindhu V, in fact, that says mango on it. Gorgeous.
So good.
This is Sisters or Two Lesbians. Love that very much. Love that.
Outside is awful. And then there's one that says, I'm only 4, but I've already put that in my bag to take home.
Have you?
Yeah. I didn't know if we were keeping them here, so I felt really bad. I'm going to take it out.
Oh my God, the audacity. No, of course you can bring it home.
I'll put it on the table for
It's
now, but I
fine.
will
You
take
can bring it
with
home.
me later.
Wow. And then
It's so cute.
they made you one too, Andrew, that says...
Yeah, it says Andrew White, young, gay, and a third thing.
Bring it home.
Andrew
It's
Shaw-
really cute.
It's so... Can I take it home?
You must. And they all have pics on them and they're amazing.
Oh, I love it.
Amazing, amazing, amazing.
Danke für die Deutsche.
Danke.
Dankeschön.
Okay, Andrew, do you have listener problems for us, my sweet pea?
I do. I just remembered. I got this comment on my YouTube. It turns out I'm not actually gay.
No.
Turns out, yes, apparently not. This, according to this person, I've just given up on women. And the exact comment is, giving up on women when you look like this is fine, but it doesn't make you gay, no matter how much you want it.
Oh my God! Who the fuck wrote that?
It's just some random YouTube troll.
Gross! Oh my God. Also, if you are wanting to give women a go,
Wow.
I would be more than happy to send you on a special night with me.
I knew it was going to be with you. I was like, surely you mean with yourself. You didn't mean with yourself.
Yeah, I'll take you out
Thank
if
you.
you want. We've kissed before.
Yeah, we kissed this morning.
Yeah.
It didn't mean anything, Helen.
Why? No, I mean, I kiss Andrew because I love Andrew.
Yeah, but it's not romantic.
There was a spark.
Yeah, there's always a
Yeah.
spark.
Okay, Andrew, I was trying to help you. My love, I wish you well. Off you go then. Yeah.
In the
all right.
cafe.
He thinks it meant something. He's into you.
You forget that me, Andrew, and Reese have had sex.
I do forget that. Oh my God, I mustn't forget the car ride. I mustn't.
Helen was hugging me in the cafe earlier.
Yeah.
Making eye contact. Then she was like looking away, like thinking. And I was like, "What are you thinking about?" And she went, "How turned on I am."
I told you last week, I'm in a bit of a horny phase.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you can sexually harass Andrew at work.
Andrew's a business partner. He's not like it's fine. It's fine. Is it fine?
No.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, suddenly Catherine's all high and mighty. I sit down here, take my jumper off, and she's like, hubba. Like, and then all of a sudden she's like, oh, Helen, no, you can't do that.
Helen, what I said was that your tits were comforting. That the
You call them
symmetry
whoppers. Whoppers.
Helen, did you take any issue at the time?
No,
You can't post-date the complaint. Is that the HR rule? I think
Right,
so.
everyone say sorry on the count of 3. 1, 2,
Are you
3.
undoing your
Sorry.
jeans?
No, I'm just making sure they're up. I'm nervous now.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Sorry.
Ready, Andrew. They should just resolve all workplace dramas like that. They should
Say sorry on the count of 3.
That should not be a HR
Kevin
policy.
Spacey at the old Vic.
No.
Sorry. Allegedly. Is that how you say it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's bad. Go on.
Okay.
Andrew.
So we actually have a problem from. Oh, I won't say their name. Obviously, I don't know why I wanted.
Give it an initial.
Let me
Like,
start
normal,
again.
I guess.
It's from B.
Hi, B.
We had B last week. That's
I
fun.
know it's a different B though.
different
Okay.
B.
Hi Hogs, I'm a huge fan of the podcast and I've been listening for ages, but this is my first time
That's so
writing in
nice.
with a problem.
Ooh.
Thank you so much for choosing us for your problem.
I'm a 19-year-old queer cis man who has recently started his second year of uni.
Slay.
I really love my course and have made an amazing group of friends who I now live with.
Well done.
I also had a boyfriend for the first time.
Woohoo.
I come from a very small conservative town and being able to meet like-minded individuals has been amazing. However, when I went home for the summer, I found it really difficult to reconnect with my friends from home. None of them are at university and all of them are incredibly straight and laddish. It's never been a problem before, but I've just lost interest in doing what they want to do, which is going out and getting drunk. They've started changing the topic or just taking the piss out of me whenever I talk about uni, and I feel like shit whenever I'm around them. Should I try and repair these friendships? Is it worth it? And if not, how do I accept outgrowing people and feeling comfortable in my new identity? Lots of love, B.
You go first.
No, please. You go first.
You sure?
Yeah.
Very tricky to say. because I am still in my school friendship group, but we have gone through phases of not being as close and as close as we are now. I was probably the one on the outs, just through they went to university and I didn't, so I wasn't home in the summertime. I wasn't home at Christmas the same way they were. I'd come back like maybe, so like we're just on a different schedule to everyone, and found it very awkward for a while because I was like, I wasn't pushed out, but I did feel like I'd pushed them away somehow by not being like on the same beat as everyone. But if it's meant to be, you will find your way back together. And what's very tricky at 19, and something that we still are learning as adults, is sometimes friendships do just change and you're not, no one's done anything, I don't know, it's tricky. Friendships sometimes just, they don't work. And you change and you move on, and then you either come back together or you don't. But the idea of, you don't have to repair, I think you use the phrase repair the friendship. You don't have to repair it. They might just not have the language that you need right now. Catherine.
Yeah, I don't really think it's about your friendship changing. I think they sound like cons. They're bullying you. It's like, that's like not the same. I don't think it's the same as like we're on different schedules, we have different interests. It's like when I bring up university, they mock me. They have an extremely laddie culture. And did B also say that they mock them being gay or no?
No.
Okay, I just added that in for fun. I think like if they can't be respectful to you, then it's not about growing apart. It's about them being cruel. At which point the only person whose job it is to repair it is theirs. And if they don't want to, then you don't owe them anything. I wouldn't do shit. I would just stop making effort and see what they do.
But in the conservative Christian way, as you were raised in that town, you give them grace and time.
They didn't say Christian. They just said
I'm
conservative.
assuming a conservative town in Britain has got to be Christian.
I don't know. I think heathens can be conservative here. It's
No,
a
I'm
weird
literally
country.
picturing Fleet.
I just think that's not on you. I think
It's
that's
not on
I
you.
would just stop making any effort until they fixed it. And if they don't, bye. You have loads of new amazing friends.
But it's B
Yeah.
not trying to figure out the emotions of the saying goodbye, the emotions of the letting go. Because it is emotional.
Okay, yeah. I think I'm quite like, oh look, this doesn't work anymore. I'm quite cutthroat. Not cutthroat,
Go back
but quite
to where
like
you were when you were 19.
I
and
wasn't
going back
friends with
to
anyone in
Clonsilla.
school.
Yeah. Okay, that's
or from
different.
school. I have one friend from home and we were friends outside of school and remain friends.
Karen.
Karen.
I love Karen.
I love Karen. Also, she's a nurse, so she tells me if things are weird or wrong with my body.
Oh my God, can you message her about the weird
Yeah.
thing? Thank you. I am so going to say this. Okay, so Tom is on the board, just said, can they pick you up on the microphone?
Not really.
No. Okay, that like people do go through phases, and that like this phase right now, you're in a uni phase, they're in a still at home phase. Like your phases might cross over again. Also like, it could change over time, but at the moment you should feel no guilt or no stress in moving on from it, but also understand that's incredibly difficult because it's a small town you're going back to, and it's hard enough going home, but going home without having friends to go to the pub with on Christmas Eve, like it's alienating.
I do think you should just say it to them though. Like I don't think you should just like back out and be like,
yeah, just be like, can you not be mean about me going to uni just because like I'm not as thick as you? Like just say that.
I wouldn't necessarily go with that. I think I would just
Thicko?
say, could you stop mocking me for this? Or do you want to talk about anything you're feeling around it? Because you always mock me for it.
Yes, suggest a compliment circle.
Do you miss me? Are you jealous? Do you think it means I think anything about you because it doesn't? Like what is going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if it's really bothering you, I would say have a conversation with them. But if it's something where you're like sad about it but happy to let it go, or feel like actually they're not being very nice to you and it's on them to fix it, that's also fair.
One at a time, go on a walk, and never let the person you're talking to know it's about them. Be like, don't you think everyone else in the group is being really awful to me? Do that to each of them individually, ruin the group, but have lots of individual coffee.
Oh, that's quite fun. Just wreck the entire group. Wow, what an energy you are.
That's sick, isn't
That's
it?
time consuming. It's sick and wrong, yeah.
No, individual chats with a couple of them I think would be really, really nice, and just sort of be like, hey, like I might be being a bit sensitive, but this is just how I feel.
I do also think like there's a version of this that is like there's a read on this that is like you are the privileged one in this circumstance. You're at university and they might have wanted to go and might not have been able to for lots of reasons. It's really expensive. it's hard to get into. It's largely informed by
UCAS forms are long.
It's largely informed by socioeconomic circumstance. We know this. Like, there is a world in which, like, not that you have to take jokes about it all the time, but like, people might feel prickly or defensive towards it, and it's not necessarily just about you. Like, it's about a systemic thing that maybe, therefore, oh wow, I've really changed my tune on
That's
this.
what I was thinking.
I'm like, I do think maybe you should just have those conversations and be a bit understanding if you can be. Wow, I really changed my tune. You know what happened? And I'll tell you what happened is that my coffee kicked in as we talked about this. Initially, I was tired, so I was like, sack him off. And then I thought about it. My caffeine kicked in. B, I'm really sorry. You should actually probably chat that through. That is like, that's that's a class issue, probably. Also,
at 19, none of your friends are being the best version of themselves. So remember who they were. Like,
disagree. They weren't better when they were 16.
No,
this is the better version. You get better and better with age. I think actually it is the best version of themselves.
Oh, I was awful at 22.
Worse than when you were 18?
Oh, 14 was my worst. 14, I was horrible. Mainly at home. Like, I was fine at school, but I was vile at home.
Wow, fascinating.
My mum would be like, how was your day at school? You never asked me anything about myself.
Shall we see what Karen is saying about tenor ladies?
Oh my God, yes, please. Thank you, B. Good luck with your problem and your friends.
Good luck. I hope you listened through all the way to the end and didn't just sack them off before you finished it. Okay, let's see what she's saying.
Okay, we've got a message from Catherine's friend, Karen, who is a nurse.
I love that you're talking about this on the podcast, and it's actually a very typical subject to be talking about, but it should be spoken about more. Women in their early 30s do tend to need tenor liners, and it's more to do with pelvic floor. As we age, our pelvic floor weakens, especially after childbirth. It's very common, but it can just be from an array of things. If you've had any injuries or any surgeries to your pelvic or uterus area, you can absolutely require tenor ladies because it can weaken the floor. So it's very important that we be doing our pelvic floor exercises daily. So yes, quite common. Helen is right.
So is it Kegels? Is that the pelvic floor exercise?
Yes.
She wants to know if it's Kegels. Is that right?
Because I'm doing them now, but they really turn me on. So I find it
she's doing them now. Oh, Helen, I'm not going to say that to Karen.
Ask her where the urethra is.
No, I'm not doing that. We've wasted this woman's time enough.
Yes, when your pelvic floor is weakened as well, any kind of bit of coughing or sneezing can make you, like, your sphincter of your urethra weaken and get loose, and it can cause you to have a little bit of urine come out, which is unfortunate. So very important that we do those muscles to tighten the sphincter. This isn't a nice thing to be listening to, but it is important.
And that's my best friend.
I feel like we just got like some really nice information that hopefully is helpful to other people.
She just sent a picture of large silhouette high waist underwear creme tenor lady pants.
Oh my, wait a second, that underwear?
Yeah, made of tenor lady.
Oh my God,
she's in Super Value right now in Ireland.
In honour of Helen, cry laughy face. Stop, you can get full pants?
Yeah.
UK size 16 to 22. I'm a size 22.
This is perfect. That's your birthday present sorted.
I don't know. I feel like I should just get used to putting the pads on. That feels like really bad for the environment to buy a new pair of. And could you imagine if this became our new sponsor?
I can absolutely imagine that.
That'd
Unfortunately,
be so
unfortunately, I can fully imagine that.
Is this female health? Are we discussing female health?
Yeah.
A taboo topic, according to Karen.
It's a poo topic.
A taboo
A
topic.
taboo, thank God. I was like, I'm not shitting myself every time I sneeze. Could you imagine? Actually, I have coughed and farted before.
I'm done. Wrap it up.
All done that.
End the podcast. We're
the
done.
end? Oh my God,
Goodbye.
we're
No, like, we're done with the podcast forever. Bye.
Oh no! Well, thank you for joining us for 157 episodes, and
what a shame. Had to end somehow. That's it.
Follow
Bye.
us online. Bye. Thank you so much to our executive producers. You keep the podcast going. You keep me in
Seriously,
high fashion.
thank you so much.
Seriously, thank you so much.
No, actually, thank you so
No, but
much.
seriously.
No, but genuinely, thank you. Sweet Jesus, I don't think we could do it without
So
you.
let's just give like the biggest shout out ever.
Yeah.
Babes of our life.
Woo!
I'm gonna get emotional. Simon Moores, Guy Goodman, Annie Tonner, Stefanie Catracchia, Oliver Jago, Anthony Conway, Neil Redmond, Madeline Quinne, and Sadie Cashmore.
Woo!
It's a good list.
They're legends.
And here is our amazing producers.
Elle, Richard Bold, Rachel Page, Helen A, Abbie Worf, Luke Bright, Kate, Casey, Ezra Peregrine, Anthony, Sophie Chivers, Becky Fox, Tim and Dom, Raia Fink, Cordelia, Amie O'Riordan, Taz, Charley A, Carey Seuthe, Dean Michael, Bryn, Jam Rainbird, Tamsin Smith Harding, Claire Owen-Jones, Harald van Dijk, David Walker, Jess and Nick, Rachel R, Sarah and Molly, Tina Linsey, Leah Overend, Hannah J, Chloe and Liz Ford. Thank you all
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you